How's it going? Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the Dollar Hour. I am Deonte Burden, Mr. Short Dollar. Got a great show planned for you tonight. Tonight, we'll be discussing the 3 levels of entrepreneurship. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producers, DJ Lab and Slick 316.
What's going on? What's going
Man,
on, brother? Another Thursday, right?
yeah, another Thursday, man. Excuse everybody. I want to tell everybody, excuse me for running a little late this morning. I'm not this morning, this afternoon. Had a little technical difficulty. Kind of threw me off a little bit, but we on track now and everything. Got a great show tonight. With us bringing the Dollar Hour in. Before we get started, everybody, hey, what's going on now? I wanted to, I told everybody we're going to be switching up each week in regards to changing lives and the Dollar Hour and everything. But this show in particular, I wanted just to bring it up in regards to, because a lot of people want to start businesses up, and with starting their businesses, they don't necessarily know how to, or really, where they fall in line. So I just want to kind of have this show in order to just help everybody, bring them about, where they fall in, as far as, being an entrepreneur and everything.
Okay.
And, as always, before we start this show, we kind of rehashed the previous week. Again, we're still in the pandemic.
Of course.
And everything. I want to give a big shout out to my son, Christopher. He plays for Jonesboro High School. He got their first varsity football game tomorrow night.
Okay.
And everything. Yeah, tomorrow night. And it was going to be closed to the public, but now they're letting 2 guests per child come into the game. So we'll be at the game tomorrow, distance away from each other and everything. Wow. Hey, what's going on? And but it should be pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about it and everything and stuff. So big shout out to Chris and Jonesboro High School football team. I also want to remind everybody that, even at the end of this video in the description, we'll have the mailing list. I want everybody to make sure you add yourself to the mailing list, especially if you're tuning in on Facebook and also YouTube. Add yourself to that mailing list, because when we send out information regarding to the newsletter, the courses, everything, you'll be able to stay abreast of what's going on with that. Most importantly, I want to remind everybody, I'm going to bring it up again, this is election year. Make sure to register to vote. I think a lot of people forget. I think if you haven't voted in 2 consecutive elections, they take you out the roll. You have to re-register.
They were purging rolls the other day.
Exactly.
They took
So
200,000 people off.
Exactly. So, I don't want everybody to get, folks be getting disappointed in November. So, if you haven't checked your status to see if you are still on the rolls to vote, so just make sure you register to vote and everything, because we want to make sure we get out there this November. I'm not gonna be preaching or pushing, a particular candidate. We'll talk about stuff if you want to talk about it. But the main thing, which is most important, I want to just push everybody to get registered to go vote. Okay. Again, this is the Dollar Hour. This is Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, where we talk about personal finance, entrepreneurship, business, and real estate investing. We also have a page on Facebook as well under the same name, Mr. Short Dollar. So just check us out and everything. We're doing pretty good with it. Been super excited about it. And I think you guys are going to enjoy tonight's show. Now, here's the deal. With tonight's show, we're talking about the 3 levels of entrepreneurship. When we talk about entrepreneur, we think in terms of somebody that got their own business, started their own business up. All kind of different adjectives and words come up when people start thinking about an entrepreneur and everything. And when people start going on that trek to be an entrepreneur, be it, whatever level you're doing, and that's what we're discussing tonight, everyone has different aspects and different ideas about how they're going to go about it. And so what I wanted to do, the thought process with tonight's show, talking about the 3 different levels, is to kind of bring awareness to it, have an idea where you fall in line between the 3 levels.
Okay.
And from that point, you can probably move and plan accordingly and be more realistic with your expectations.
Okay.
For yourself, for your business, and actual returns that actually come out of that. Okay. So that's one of the main thought processes of doing that. And, when I start thinking about entrepreneurship, I start thinking about, my favorite entrepreneur, which is myself. And I always kind of go back to, that little boy, Bankhead, walking down, dragging that lawnmower, going from house to house,
Right.
asking could I cut their grass and everything. And then, I remember them yards that were a little bit higher than others.
Right.
Like, damn, man, I know I should charge him, man, $15, charge him $10.
Right.
Do the front and back. Cause they see my little desperate butt soon as I pull in the driveway. I cut it for 10.
Right.
There been them yards, you just got to go 1 inch, drop it, pull back, drop it. Ain't been cut all summer. You 3 months in.
And here you come.
Man. rough times and everything. And then, just going through that, always trying to grow up hustling, being out there at Kmart, asking them ladies got carry their bags to their car. I remember, we talked about that last show where it was a recycling place set up by Born Home.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to save them cans up, take up there.
Well, yeah.
Got them little stinking cans, I'll be on the 50. Go there, buy 10 cans, dragging them up there and get by $12. I'd be so proud of myself.
Right.
And everything. But I've always had that little spirit in my whole life. And it kind of, escalated as I got older. And my first legitimate business was a resume writing company.
Okay.
And everything. And that first, it sounds more impressive than it is. And it's just like most other business I did, kind of spun off from something I was doing I think I did pretty good at, and that was write my own damn resume. And then you start doing other things with people and stuff, and try to, expand it from there. And then, had a couple things here and there. Then, we started with the tax business, and the rest been history from there. And I just remember at each different business, where I was in terms of that paradigm of the different levels. And I'll talk about it as we discussed it in the show. And like as me being right now, being 100% self-employed, where I am with everything and the thought process I got to have, the movements I got to have with everything and stuff. And I think a lot of times people want to do certain things.
Right.
But people don't want to commit to make certain things happen.
Okay.
We talked about the other week. I think a lot of people say they want to start their own business when in actuality they just want a job gonna pay them more money. And they hope that business that they create can generate more money in addition to what they're doing.
Okay.
And a lot of times people create a bigger worry.
Bigger headache.
Yeah. Instead of just leaving and getting another job. They think they get independence. They don't sit there and put themselves in jail.
Right.
And everything with doing that and stuff. But that's the whole premise of tonight's show. We can discuss that in regards to, the 3 levels of entrepreneurship.
Okay.
And everything. Again, this is Deonte Burden, a.k.a. Mr. Short Dollar himself. You are listening live to the Dollar Hour. Make sure you go to Mr. Short Dollar where we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and real estate investing. Both pages are on YouTube and Facebook, so make sure you subscribe. We got a lot of great information on there, a lot of good information. Where we get financial updates, business updates, real estate updates, everything's there. So please take advantage of all the information there. And again, as I said earlier, in the description block of all the videos, we have the email list. So join that email list so you can stay abreast and keep updated on all the current information that we're putting out from Mr. Short Dollar. Okay? Now, as we get started, again, tonight's show we're talking about the 3 levels of entrepreneurship. Let me give my quick disclaimer about everything. There is no right or wrong way in regards to what paradigm you fall into in regards to the different levels, okay? So, whichever one we discuss, this is more from an awareness standpoint than a right or wrong standpoint.
Okay.
So there is no, this is the best or this is the pinnacle.
I was just going to ask you, so you think there's a surefire formula?
Oh, I don't know if formula word, but I mean, it's just, like I said, it's just awareness. Because when we get to talking about this, a lot of this stuff is attitude-based, and everything like that. So you sitting there trying to figure out, okay, for my temperament, for my money perspective, for my risk tolerance, I'm talking about the amount of risk that you can delve out, your risk tolerance or call it scary awareness, whatever, you can decide which would be best for you. So that's why I want to kind of give people that awareness. So, because I think sometimes people may be in one situation, but they're unrealistic about, for the amount of attention you put into this, are you realistic about what you're going to get back from it?
Okay.
It makes sense?
Okay.
And everything. So we're starting there, everything, we're starting out rather. We're going to go to level 1, which is safety net.
Okay.
Okay? We look at safety net, you, number one, you do have a job. And when we're looking at 3-level entrepreneurship, the first one being safety net. You have a job. You have something solid. You got a straight 9 to 5 or 10, 12 to 12, whatever. You got the income coming in. The apple done fell across your head. You like the prospect of being an entrepreneur. You like the prospect of doing something different. You got a talent that you want to kind of monetize. You want to take a little side hustle you want to get. You're going to get into it and stuff like that. So, you have the interest of being there being an entrepreneur is there, and making extra money is there, but the actual ideal interest of even taking risks is not there at all.
Okay.
So only thing you're looking at for the most part is the benefit perspective. We're not looking at actually the loss or anything that can come from that. So, a lot of times this come from people, with your multi-level marketing, people that's selling noni juice.
Right.
What's the fad thing now? Whatever, Forex, foreign exchange, maybe, I won't even necessarily know the susu or the flour fall into that.
Yeah. The thing I've heard recently was you give me $500 to bring two people in.
What I want to talk
and
about?
they'll give you $500, and in 2 weeks you'll have $220,000.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily know if that's a business. That's just, I don't even know if that's. I don't even want to put that, classify that in one entrepreneurship. But there's a lot of people looking to make some kind of small investment, and they may have a different perspective in terms of the actual return they're looking to get. But
right.
regardless, they're looking. A lot of times they got unrealistic expectations for high rewards and high returns for the amount of money they put in and the amount of time they put in. And again, we're talking about a safety net. You see this a lot where you got some people, they just, fruit baskets, holiday baskets, might make some ties and stuff like that. Simple stuff that they want to do and everything like that, where everybody incur minimal cost to do it. Even if they take an L, they ain't really bitter about it.
Because they ain't lose much.
Exactly.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with it. I do think I would recommend this if number one, if you're not really a risk tolerant person. If you don't really want to take any kind of risk, you don't want to be frightened about anything. You say, okay, I got some money that I can afford to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I try this and everything like that? Now, what a lot of times people miss is the other side of it is they're going to get a good enough effort to make it work.
Right.
Now, again, that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
If a person is actually going to do that, but realistic, we just don't know that. But in that whole level one, the safety net, I think that's where the bulk of all entrepreneurs are.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea of I got a business, I got an LLC,
Mm-hmm.
I got a logo,
Mm-hmm.
I got a tax ID number, and from that point, they ain't doing a damn thing but posting, buy my lashes, buy my glitter lipstick,
Right.
the typical Instagram store,
Okay.
and everything. But again, that's everybody at level one. They not living off of it. It's just if they can make a couple
bucks.
a couple bucks, there you go. I was about to say a couple hundred, but now, but it is possible.
Right.
If the effort is there and the opportunities are there and everything, it is possible. But typically, that's where the bulk of entrepreneurs fall into that.
Do you think entrepreneurs at level one are looking to go level two, or they just most of them are comfortable at the level one stage?
I think majority of them comfortable at the level one stage. I think some will go to level two as they evolve and mature as a business owner and everything. Especially when we start talking about learning and kind of getting confidence in themselves and see certain opportunities. But I think the bulk are just comfortable. I got a consistent work of money coming in, and we just go ahead. It's just a side hustle to make some additional money. I think that's the vast majority, and I would say probably in that 70% of entrepreneurs, they got a talent.
At one.
Yeah, I play football. I'm gonna do a little training.
Mm-hmm.
I actually sing in a choir. I may do a little singing lessons. Whatever. It's very minimal.
Okay.
As far as the cost, when I say minimal, just the investment of it may just be as much as time, but it actually just be able to put in the money out or anything like that is minimal. Again, somebody may twist their arm, get them to buy them a little package to sell these actual lotions or noni juice or what they got, the wraps, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's just it's gonna be minimal in regard to the investment that they're gonna have and everything. But that's level one. Again, this is the Dollar Hour by Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Make sure you guys go to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I think I got about 60 or 70 videos on the Dollar Hour and everything. I'm not for sure, but a lot of great information. Well, like I said, I give financial updates each week. What's going on in the economy, what's going on in the business sector and everything. So make sure you stay abreast of that. One of the things with starting the channel up, I knew it was a whole market of people that wanted to do business but didn't know business. So we've got a great response. Once I became consistent with putting the videos out. And again, tonight's show we're talking about the 3 levels of entrepreneurship, and we just went over level 1, which is safety net. Okay, now level 2, it's kind of funny, and like I said, 70% of entrepreneurs fall into the safety net. I'm finna sit here and say 20% going to our next level, which is security.
Okay.
Now here's the deal. The thing about security is, kind of like when you do that evolution where you say, okay, I'm feeling kind of confident now. I'm willing to put a little bit more risk out here, and everything. I'm going to equate it to just say, you're going in the pool, you can swim, but you keep your life jacket on.
Right. You stay away from the deep end.
Yeah. You might put your toe in there and everything, but you jump in, you jump right back out.
Okay.
You dig? But you're going to have some kind of thing there. So again, we're still looking at people that have a job or some kind of consistent income coming in. But with these people and everything, they've taken a little bit more risk.
Right.
And everything. So they're comfortable with having a little bit more at stake.
Okay.
Sometimes a lot more and everything, but they still gonna keep the security of the job there. That right there. And typically, what happened with people that with here, I'm kind of give a couple examples. People that kind of maybe have done they've done start off with the side hustle. Maybe say you do tattoos or something like that, and you say, look, man, I'm gonna get my own studio. Been cutting hair and perming hair in your garage all these years. You finna go on and start paying booth rent. Get something like that, and maybe go a little next level with it. Turn around and get you a lease somewhere. Especially if a lot of people that were in business when they expand. You see a lot of people with the food trucks and selling certain stuff. Well, look, man, we finna go on and get a little storefront. Go brick and mortar with everything, and they engage you getting a lease. Okay. Now they still got the gig,
right?
But they find a way to kind of mix in, with both and in their mind also kind of looking at, have they really escaped the idea of the business paying for the business? They're still looking at in terms of that job still paying for the business.
Okay.
Make sense?
Helping.
Exactly.
Helping with the expense of the business, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Have the whole thought process, idea that, hey, it'll eventually be able to stand on its own and stuff like that. But again, they've not taken on that the risk of just leaving out there by themselves and stuff like that. So again, but they went out there and kind of got themselves in a position where they have a lot more risk than than before. Because again, once you go next level, and you say okay to level 2, that's when you start looking, okay, let me get a little rental property. I still got a job and everything like that, but I got people in here trying to do this and everything, and I'm cutting hair on the weekend and stuff like that. I've entered this lease with this barber shop and everything, and you feel pretty good about it.
Right.
Feel pretty good about yourself and everything because you know that you've committed, regardless, the level. And again, you went past that initial investment. You actually putting money towards the actual operations of doing it.
Okay.
I got a lease with this and everything. I pay. Insurance and all this other kind of stuff, and I actually got legitimate bills attached to this thing now. And you see it growing legs and everything. It's about to get ready to run on its own, but you still got something to catch you.
Okay.
And everything. And like I said, it's that 20% of people doing that. And I can say for myself, I stayed at level 2. For about 15 years.
Oh, really?
And I was kind of cool with it.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I was kind of cool with it because my job was so gravy, it didn't really affect it.
Okay.
Once the job started affecting it, that's when I had to reevaluate everything and say, shit, how much do I want my damn job?
Right. And do you think that most people at level 2 kind of stay at level 2 for a while for, not necessarily the money, but the benefits of insurance, having insurance for the family and stuff like that? Because to be honest with you, it may be a little bit cheaper having it through the job than it would be as me as the entrepreneur getting it myself.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, that's what I did.
Okay.
Once I became I'm a disabled veteran. Once I got to 50%, and that's when the VA will pay for all your medical. I mean, that was it. Because I know I had to pay no medical insurance.
Right.
I'm just speaking for myself. I think you have some to do it on. Most still just have that fear of don't, hey man, I don't necessarily know if I want to do this by
Right.
myself.
Okay.
It's a good supplemental income,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't necessarily know if it can run by itself. I got to a certain point where they were making just as much. Sometimes the business were making more, and I was just kind of start reevaluating myself. Like, well, boy, what if you start putting more effort into this?
Mm-hmm.
What could you do? You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
And then from that point, that's when I started kind of looking at certain things, like, okay, how can I make this happen and everything. So those were the kind of things that kind of had me opening my mind up to, hey, can I go level 3 and everything? We're doing it, But for the most part, I was comfortable at level 2.
Okay.
And I think most people, they are comfortable, not because of insurance and stuff like that. That is one of the things I do think hold a lot of folks with doing it. But I just think it's still scary.
Okay.
It's still scary.
I think the insurance part is just a part of it. You tell yourself, man, I need this insurance right now. I can't afford to, stop quit my job and gotta pay $2,000 a month for insurance. Just certain little things like that may come up that you may think about to keep your 1 foot in level 2 and your toe in level 3.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Well, see the thing, and it's also perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, sometimes you got some people that they just look at it like, well, I just got to sell 3 more widgets,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll cover the insurance.
Right.
Some people, like I said, look at it like, man, well, I got insurance paying for here. Like you said, that's $1,000 a month. But then, it's all perspective. They looking at it like that 1,000 is just something that's insurmountable. Next person looking like I said, I just got to sell 3 more widgets.
Right.
If I do that, I cover that.
Right.
If I sell 2 more, I can cover this. So it's all about perspective.
Okay.
We're doing it. That's a good question. But I just think that mindset got so much to do with it.
Okay.
And a lot of times people just don't want to be realistic about their mindset with everything. Because everybody like the idea, I'm the boss, I'm doing this.
That ain't the problem.
Yeah. Because, a good example, level 2, you ever see the brothers with them big $2,000 or $3,000 smoking pits? Parked there in one of your local gas stations on Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
Swearing they selling Atlanta's best smoked ribs. Selling you the saltiest damn meat you can taste. Yeah. Guaranteed to make your blood pressure go through the roof. Shit, you can't even see shit but stars the next day. You eat that smoky, that's that salty smoked rib. Shout out to all.
It ain't good at the blood pressure.
There you go. Shout out to all the smoking pits in Atlanta. But that's a perfect example. You see guys that actually will do that and be doing decent. But why not go brick and mortar with that? Not saying that's the best route because you can be better, doing it that way. But just that whole, a lot of times just come down the thought process. We're doing it. Let me get a food truck and do this, that, and that. That's, a lot of that to me is just level 2. When we're talking about you still got that. You're doing the food truck in the afternoon, doing it on the weekend. You got off work, go to do that. That's straight level 2. You still got something that's catching you to do it. There could be several reasons. Like I said, just comfort. You might just like doing it on the weekends. You might be scared. You might just,
Well, maybe you did the cost analysis and decide that the food truck is more economically friendly because you can, instead of being in one area of the city, you can be in all areas of the city.
Well, that's a good point because that was the thing. When you start looking at it, start doing your math and everything, because, again, what one of the defining moments for me personally, when I started looking at the amount of money I was making and the amount of effort I was making, I was like, if I can get this a little bit more effort,
right?
Lord, what could I do? And that's why I think what helped in my transition of coming out of level 2. I was just realistic about what I was putting in than what I was getting out.
Okay.
And I knew I really wasn't putting in a legitimate amount, and I was getting a certain amount of money and everything. That's what one of the defining moments. Plus the insurance. The insurance I wasn't really worried too much about, only because my spouse, she had insurance. I could have actually even got on hers, but just even, I'm like, okay, let me just get this squared away. And so it wasn't really a nail, but I think I probably made a little bit more than what it needed to be. But definitely just kind of start doing the math in terms of my effort. If I do this and I do that,
right,
I can make this and everything. and it all works out. But that's one of the things I think a lot of times people don't want to reflect on.
Right.
And again, that's level 2, what we call security. Again, this is Deonte Burden, Mr. Short Dollar himself. Tonight's show we're discussing the 3 levels of entrepreneurship. Now we fast forward moving on to the third one.
Okay.
Okay. And this is it. This is it, everybody. This is level 3. And level 3 we're gonna call free fall.
Okay.
Okay. Free fall, where you just like you jumping out of plane, and you ain't got no damn parachute. You just hope that somehow you can guide yourself like in the movies, around the trees, around the ground,
right,
and land in the ocean.
Okay.
Straight MacGyver.
Soft landing.
There you go. People don't know you coming that high, you hit that water, it's still splack.
You're right. just not a hard splat. It's soft splat.
But that's what, we talk, you totally self-employed. You out there by yourself. You out there in the wilderness, out there in the dog. You ain't got no map. You ain't got no compass. You just moving straight off, emotion, feeling, maybe using that North Star. But you are really, really, really in a whole different level of thinking when you start doing that free fall. Level 3 is very, very, very frightening. It's very frightening. It's very rewarding, but you have to have a certain mindset going into level 3. And one of the biggest things I think that distinguishes level 2 from level 3 is the amount of discipline you got to have to be in level 3.
Okay.
Most people don't necessarily have the discipline to be in level 3. And I think when you got the discipline to be in there, that's a whole different dynamic. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the thing I think what takes a lot of folks out of the mix with in regards to doing level 3. I just know me personally, I got to a point so much where I had the confidence, the belief in myself. I just had to take that leap of faith.
Okay.
And again, we talking about now we're at that 10%. Because they 7 is at level 1, 20 is at level 2, when we're at that talented 10th. As the great black educator W.B. Du Bois said,
right.
Talented 10th. I know a little history.
I'm like throwing it out there to let them rhyme, folks. That you educated to.
They're a little bit. Proud APS graduate. But, you had to become psychologically, emotionally ready to take on all the risks and not just have chances. You become analytical, what's out there and everything. Your thought process looks at opportunities more than just items. You at level 3, your lens is a little different. You understand that you're not looking for jobs. You're looking for opportunity to plant seeds for them to grow. Now, one plant may grow next week, one may grow next month, one may grow in the summer, one may grow next year. But you're constantly planting those seeds, knowing that as one grows, one comes up, another going out, coming in. And you're constantly understanding that. You understand the concept that when you're making moves and growing your business, that you got people working for you that's making more money than you.
Right.
I say again, you got people working for you that's making more money than you. Because your value is associated with the business and you're looking big picture.
Right.
You're not pulling this, they're pulling money out of it. But I got to pay Lab, because Lab is taking my business from $1,000 business to $1 million business.
Right.
With his expertise, his management, style, marketing experience, and all that kind of stuff. And when you understand that kind of stuff and your mindset is different, that's when you go next level.
Okay.
That's when you're at level 3. And, again, like I said, the mentality, your fear of not trying is much greater than your fear of failing. You don't want to live back with regrets and everything. It's a whole different from mentality. It's more mentality than anything, because you have people hell at level 1 that have knowledge,
right,
but they don't have the mentality to do it. You have tons of people. You go to any job, the guy that's pulling orders or working on the front lines, he knows a whole lot more about the process of a company than the CEO. But CEO, he just focused on strategy and implementation. And so his whole, he's not thinking about, the toilet bowl is located on aisle 3. He's just thinking about, getting contracts with different fast food chains or different hotels and how to get them put in different places. That's what his thought process is.
Okay.
He give a damn what he's sitting there in the warehouse or how it flushes or anything like that. His thing is garnering deals, spreading it, making money and everything. And it's, like I said, it's a whole difference of mentality. And once I think a person gets that, now, like to ask your question in regards to level 1, level 2, can level 2 go to level 1? Absolutely, but still going based back on that evolution.
Okay.
Right? And I think that's the thing about it. Now, we going back and let's kind of look at what we talked about earlier in regards to, you know, how you need to be having certain expectations and looking at what kind of individual you are. When we start looking at expectations, when you're at level 1, from an expectation standpoint, you're looking at, okay, I bought this, I want to sell this, I want to make this. Straight up. You are not looking at, cause I got a job, and if I'm doing this, I want to make some money.
Right.
So if I buy this pressure washer, I want to sit here and make some money washing these cars.
Right.
You're not thinking about I buy this pressure washer, and I got to sit out here all day long and don't wash no car.
Right.
Your risk tolerance is very small. You have a lot of expectation because you done bought something, put some kind of capital investment in something you expected something right then and there. And we call it realistic, unrealistic, but that's just how the mindset is.
Right.
Then we go out to level 2, where we start looking at in terms of, because you've made some kind of investment, be it a lease, purchase a high end of equipment and everything. Because I want to say and say pressure washers, I mean, you can spend a little extra money, but we start going, and I know they got some $1,000 pressure washers out there, but we start talking about maybe major capital investments, like a pit smoker, you know, some one of those those landscaping guys about those $2,000 or $3,000 packages where you get a trailer,
yeah,
the
two
mower and all
lawnmowers,
that kind
the
of
weed
stuff.
yeah.
Exactly. So they went past, you know, their little startup push mower. Now they out there standing and rolling and turning and cutting and blowing, and that's a whole different level. Especially when we talk about, you know, you start to get a little. You've been selling, you know, going on Instagram selling your little macaroni plates, and now you done actually got your little storefront and everything with your famous, business, right? Yeah, your little famous macaroni place.
Little different expectations right there.
Boy, they be selling them pants. I be selling Instagram, boy. This is a little word of advice. I would advise anybody going to spend like $100 to get a professional.
Take pictures.
Take your pictures. Because it don't look as good as you think it do. Some of that stuff look a little.
Question.
I won't say effed up, but you know, you sitting there like, man, I want to eat that sloppy. And you see, hey, some people they'll put a little macaroni salad and put yummy at the bottom. I'm like, oh hell, yummy. Hell no. Yummy.
They don't know about presentation.
Yeah, man.
They don't know about the presentation and all that. It's a different thing.
Nah, they presentation different. It definitely ain't no La Cordon Bleu. I tell you, La Cordon Negro. You know, ain't no parsley or paprika on it. Oh no, no little drizzle of this. Oh no.
Let me ask you a question about level 3.
Okay.
The level 3 entrepreneur. Like you said, he was thinking about planting more seeds, and he's not worried about his employee making more money than him. He's worried about the fact of growing the business. Do you think that most entrepreneurs fail at that point because a lot of times they want to make the most money, and they can't handle the fact that the employee makes more money than them, and they can't handle, you know, everybody wants to be the boss and pull up in the 500 series Mercedes and like, I own this business and this is what I'm doing, not realizing that for a long time you probably won't make no money because you are reinvesting in the business and trying to grow it. Like you always say on Changing Lives, you just making enough to maintain what you have. You're not making enough, you know what I'm saying? You're not doing buku's amount of money, but you are growing the business. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I think, well, that's one of the key components of being in level 3 anyway. One of the biggest things that change a person from being from level 2 to level 3 is just education. And I'm not necessarily talking about sitting in somebody's classroom. I'm just talking about just, you know, from experience and everything. Once you get enlightened and you see certain things, you see how businesses grow, how businesses actually operate, and you actually, number one, see how businesses that make money function, you'll move accordingly. Because a lot of times people haven't seen it or experienced it, they just go on assumptions.
They just go to the end result. Like you always say, Elon Musk and that Jeff Bezos and them sitting at their desk doing coding for 21 hours out of the day and eating noodles the rest, you know what I mean, for years. All we all see is that, man, this guy worth $30 billion. This guy worth $200 billion. You know what I mean? That's all we see. We don't see the 30 years prior.
Exactly. Everybody want to show the end result.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing about it. You're so focused on the end result that when they get that kind of stuff, they not really prepared. Like, man, I got to do all this.
Right.
This ain't fun no more.
I think most entrepreneurs, and I'm not saying all, I think a lot of times most entrepreneurs want to show the end result at the beginning.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They want to show that they're successful, they doing this and that, doing that, and that may not even be the case. Like, I consider you to be a successful brother, but you don't drive no 500 Mercedes Benz. You every day is a like you say, you work 80 hours a week, so you don't have to work 40.
20 hours a day, so you work 40 hours a week.
Right.
Well, the thing of it is too, and I don't knock nobody. Everybody got their little toys, their little vices, but the thing of it is just from a standpoint of just focus.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to some older people, and they were just talking about, we can get this nonprofit, because once you get a nonprofit, you can get grant money and all that kind of stuff like that. And like, I wasn't trying to be mean to them, I was being real to them. I said, you talking to somebody that has secured, that kind of funding, sit there and seeing that kind of grant money funded. Y'all talking, but you never did it. It's not that easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got a nonprofit and all that kind of stuff, but when you start talking about you getting these six-figure grants, $50,000 from Coca-Cola, $75,000 from Chase, and all that kind of stuff, you actually have. We talk about a grant. People create grants to solve a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So your nonprofit has to be applying for, in essence, solving the problem that grant was created for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can lie and whatever, this, that, and that, but most folks just can't get that concept.
Mm-hmm.
They also can't get the concept, if you want to get a grant, you might have to pay, if it's a $50,000 grant, you might got to pay somebody $700 or $1,000 and give them a certain percentage of it to write that grant, which is crumbs in regards to the actual money you're going to get.
Right.
Well, I got to do it. I can do it myself. Absolutely. Because I can build a damn car from scratch if I want to. I can, but it ain't finna damn happen. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't realize the grant process. I did it when I was in high school. And it's not even the process of writing the grant. It took me a long time just to find a grant that applied to me. I mean, just finding the grant that will assist me with what would help me solve the problem that I'm trying to solve, and also help the company, because there's so many different ones you don't realize until you get knee deep into it.
Yeah, and that was my conversation with them. Like, yeah, you got a nonprofit, you got a 501c3, but they just think they can get some money. And I mean, in its most simplistic form, wouldn't the easiest money be the hardest money to get?
Right?
Come on, man.
The money that you don't really the money you don't have to pay back is definitely gonna take you a lot more to get it.
Exactly, and it goes back really to the point I'm bringing up in regards to, because they have never done it before, they're totally unrealistic about how to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I want to just share light in with tonight's show, just talking about the 3 levels of entrepreneurship, to kind of just be realistic about where you fall in. Because like I said, when you even looking at that level 3, we're talking about, you got to think totally different. You're not even, nobody's looking to lose money, but even your losses aren't looking as losses. Your losses are looking at educational points more so that, hey, I didn't lose, I didn't fail, I just learned what to do next time. How much to stick out there, how much not to, and everything. And those are kind of things that you kind of be aware of and everything. And so that's the kind of thing I think where a lot of times people just need to sit down and kind of just be realistic. Look, I'm just be honest with myself. Shout out to Tyler Perry. I did a video. He made a Forbes list and everything. I ain't got to be no billionaire.
He made a billionaire list?
Yeah, he made a billionaire list.
1 billion?
1.4.
Oh, okay.
1.4 billion made. I did a video about it last night, man. And everything kind of talked about the 3 things he had, being work ethic, vision, and what was the other? I did a video last night about it. The things, how it takes to do that. But again, like, be realistic with yourself. You're just trying to make a little side money to kind of, pay for your little habit. Or just want to just keep the cable on, whatever, just make a little supplemental income. Cool, level 1 may be best for you. You don't want to put all that out there. You want to sit here, you feel kind of confident in your barbecue skills, and you want to get your little equipment and stuff.
Right.
Level 2 may be good for you. You sitting there tired of cooking at the back of Busy Bees and all that for years and stuff. You want to get your own little restaurant. Might need to go with level 3.
Right.
But understand the pitfalls and all the risks come associated with it, because what we do with all 3, regardless, focus so much on the rewards. We don't really give enough time to the costs, the expenses, the sacrifices we got to make for each one.
Right.
And I think that's where a lot of people get lost. Because they want $1 million with $5 effort.
They see the 1.4 billion, but they don't see the 20 years of plays he did prior to 1.4 billion, right?
If you think about it, man, just for a second, pause. For that brother to be homeless at one point, and you hear them horror stories about doing even the stuff with the plays and pushing yourself to actually start doing plays, start writing them and all that, pushing your plays around. Then you start doing movies. And once you start doing movies, to have enough belief, that's what sold me on them. To sit there and just tell them people in Hollywood, which is not predominantly Jew, it is Jew owned. It is white owned. It's not. It's not a predominant in it. It is.
Right.
Because he ain't even 1% of the industry.
Right.
And to have that confidence in yourself, say
0.1%.
Exactly. But just to think about, to have that kind of confidence in yourself, to say, shit, I got a following. I really don't need y'all. I'm actually doing these numbers without any help.
Right.
I got a following. To have that kind of awareness and confidence in yourself, to step away from that and do your own thing, I thought was probably the most impressive thing about it. And then once you do it, you only step out there and start doing your own movies. You say, damn, I ain't even start renting for y'all no more. I'm going to be in my own studio.
Right. What I need y'all for?
So now there is no middleman whatsoever. From the funding, the movie, the distribution.
The writing, the directing, producing.
Yeah. It's all going into one kitty.
Yeah.
And that was amazing to me, because it's not to knock nobody. But I seen a brother put a post on Facebook yesterday and said, I'm looking for reliable work. And ain't nothing wrong with it. Shout out, I hope the man was able to catch what he's looking for. But we start talking about two whole different spectrum mentality. One person is looking and hoping and pleading for somebody to give him opportunity. Well, you got some person just like, look, I'm finna do this. I'm finna do that. I'm finna do this. I'm finna create that. Totally different. Totally different ends of the perspective of the spectrum. And I'm not knocking either one.
Right.
Because you got some folks, I don't want to have my own business. You got to deal with this, you got to deal with that. It ain't meant for you. But I just want everybody to be realistic about how you feel about everything and what has to come about in regards to making those things happen. A lot of times people just not honest with themselves, about, hey, look, you want this stuff to happen, man, but did you truly give the effort, the time and all that really took to do that? That's what we talk about, having those little reflection moments that are painful. A lot of times people just don't want to be honest with themselves about what they did or didn't do.
Everybody thinks that their idea is the best idea until they get into doing the idea. A lot of times you see the end result before you see the process before you get to the end result. You never see the start line. You never see when you running the 5K. You never see the 2K in between.
or really the probably the 40, 50K that you had to practice to be able to get there.
Right.
That's the kind of thing I think a lot of folks people don't necessarily want to look at the journey.
I don't think people realize that most successful people don't get there overnight, and that's I think a lot of times that's our problem. We always see the end result, and we think we could do that, but we don't. And sometimes I'm guilty of it, and we don't see that. There was a process in between. We said, man, why can't I be worth $200 billion? Well, because I ain't start selling books in my garage. For 15 years,
But the funny part about that though, Lab, the funny part about that is that I don't think the people that are successful do a good enough job of selling the journey. I mean, we can go into social media now, we're gonna see this good looking brother with a 3-piece suit He gonna be smoking his cigar, sitting on his lakefront that he done just rented.
He rent the lakefront.
Yeah, rented lakefront. The Benz, getting on the little, them rented out a little jet, talking.
And he got the Benz and on the tarmac.
And you could be like me too, just enrolling my course for this, that, and that. Oh Lord. Make sure that stuff Jay Morrison going through with his Tulsa real estate. My God, man, this brother's going through. So many people jumped on that. Are you familiar with the Tulsa real estate fund?
I have not. Unfortunately, I have not looked into that.
Well, Jay Morrison's brother, I think I personally I don't know him, but I think he's a brilliant brother in regards to, just, how he's been able to sell himself and everything. But he marks as a real estate guru. And I know he was down in, over there in Buckhead, had an office down there tonight. They got their own place out there in East Point now. They call it the Black House. Long story short, he's real deep into real estate. And about a couple years ago, he started the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, which would have been like a REIT in theory. And then all these people.
Black Wall Street.
Yeah, like a Black Wall Street, just pushing it.
Yeah.
And he was pushing so many people to join. I think his share was $500 and everything. And this guy has no kind of fund management experience whatsoever. But, he did what he's supposed to do. He had his niche market, Negroes. And he was pushing that and got people to do that. People don't know a damn thing about investing. Don't know how to scrutinize or nothing like that. And everybody buying these funds. Long story short, the funds have had no returns or anything like that. You got people protesting, wanting their money back and all that kind of stuff. I think the brother done bought a house out there in damn North Fulton and all kind of stuff.
Living a good life off.
Well, did he do anything wrong? I don't know. I blame the people more so because, again, you didn't do a good job of scrutinizing it. You the dream was good. It was good and with doing it. But, I mean, if you've been broke 30, 40 years, you are not finna get rich in 2 or 3 years.
It's not going to happen.
Unless you do something called cash 3 or Georgia Lottery. That's the only way.
That's the only overnight success
Yeah. You be one of them folks down at 5 Point singing and somebody tape you, you go viral and whatever, but hell, that'll last so long. Right. You remember the brother that was hey, how you doing? At the golden voice.
Where he go?
He couldn't stay out dope.
Yeah, he had that golden
voice. They
was
getting him jobs. He couldn't stay out the dope.
Doing jobs that he couldn't get.
He couldn't stay out the dope.
He was on TV. He was everything. Yeah.
He went from level 1 to level 3, back to damn level -1. I just can't get off these drugs.
Right.
Shit. And I ain't knocking nobody on drugs, Lord. No, I don't see many of my family members. I know that joke is a mother, boy.
Right.
That ghost, that damn crack undefeated. I ain't want to talk. Yeah, shit. I can tell you, boy, crack cocaine is undefeated.
Right.
I
ain't want to talk.
Yeah.
So let me say that.
That's mostly choir directors right now. I got a testimony. Oh, Lord. You hear something like, oh, Lord.
The testimonies work now. We was watching TV, we watch the reality show, and me and Rick could sit back and say, which one of them going to have a testimony? Now, all of them seem to have a testimony. All of them been homeless. Mama ain't been around. And people who's really gone through that is not going to tell you about that. They're not going to really talk about that.
They're scared the shit out you.
Right. They're going to move on. They ain't going to come on TV and be like, well, my mama was, did this and we did that and that happened.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Well, people share the skeleton in the closet, but they ain't going to share the graveyard.
Right.
They'll share that skeleton like, oh, yeah, I did this. I did a little, this and that back in my day.
Right.
Yeah, but they ain't going to let you know all the other stuff. When that ran out, I had to do a little of this. What? No, sister.
Exactly.
But those are the kind of things where we start talking about the different levels of entrepreneurship where people, once you become aware of it, and I think awareness is everything, and you're comfortable with that awareness. And even if you put the point where you say, you want to evolve and expand and go to another level, you can from that point forward just say, okay, these are the things I need to put in place. And a couple things I want to recommend to people, if you are looking to expand and advance from different levels, do your homework. You know where you at, you see what the next level is. We just went over that. Start studying people that's in that position. What are they doing? How do they move? What kind of sacrifice they did. Study them and try to move accordingly. Don't have any kind of I did a video the other night talking about the difference between pride and ego, where a lot of times people don't do certain things. The thing is, pride is not pride. Pride make you do stuff. Pride make you do a couple more push-ups. Pride make you run a little harder, stay up late at night. Ego is what keep you inactive. Make you feel like you're above certain things. And just have that kind of pride in yourself to Let me go talk to these person. They tell me they don't want to know or just they don't want to share information. Okay, cool.
Right.
I asked. You're guaranteed to get no information by not asking. Guaranteed.
Right.
You got a 50-50 chance you're going to get something if you ask. So I like going with 50 instead of 0%. But just challenge yourself to kind of, gather information if you do want to evolve rather, and expand and everything like that. And I think that's a good thing for people to actually take that opportunity.
So research is very important.
Research is very important.
Mm-hmm.
If you're interested now.
Right.
If you're interested. And I still recommend you do some kind of research wherever you're in, because what the pandemic and COVID-19 taught you, like, shit, you can't be comfortable with nothing.
Right.
Nothing. I mean, you could be sitting there, ready to just, be in Waikiki, just drinking out a coconut shell. Next thing you know, man, hold your pants up with a shoestring.
I mean, look at the rework guy. He was a billionaire 4 months ago.
I had a guy just tell me the other day, he just trying to just so stuck on still talking about commercial real estate. A friend of mine. Like, no, man.
No, I heard on NPR the other day, thinking about you, and they was like, the whole office aspect, and they were going through like exactly what you said. They was like, the whole office aspect is going to change because now that you see that you can have it. And then he threw a curveball into that just I knew was going to change it. He said, actually, people are working 3 hours longer a day working from home.
Man, in actuality, they might, you got the whole aspect of distractions and everything like that, but even working at home, what I can do? I can track you a little bit better. You got software to track, but you can also be more productive because you're in a more comfortable environment, too. Because
that's what he said. He said a comfortable environment. He said, sure, you have people, sometimes do whatever, but at the end of the day, the most people are working 3 hours longer a day. They find them some places that they're not distracted. They sit back there and they do the work and they get it done and they do more work.
Absolutely.
That whole more work thing, let me know right there that all these companies going to take notes and be like, if you can work 3 hours longer from home.
Yeah. Because you wake up, it's nothing to wake up, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Man, let me go ahead and just hop on there and do work on this project a little bit more. And those kind of aspects you're looking at, like, so while we get this $25,000 a month at least to rent this office, we got everybody doing, we ain't paying nothing but like a $100 Zoom bill. Come on now.
Yeah, we got the premium Zoom deal for $100. We can save $24,900.
You don't need an MBA to figure that one out.
Right.
Again, this is Deonte Burden, a.k.a. Mr. Short Dollar Self. You listen to the Dollar Hour tonight. We're talking about the 3 levels of entrepreneurship. We went through the 3 levels, being number 1 being safety net, number 2 being security, and 3 being free fall. So a couple of keys to remember with everybody. I just want everybody to kind of remember these. That number 1, there is no right way to go about everything. There is no correct level. It's all about having a lot of self-awareness in yourself and what type of individual you are and what you can and can't do. Okay? And we say what you can and can't do. This goes to the second part is there are a couple of distinct factors that determine what you can and can't do. The first being knowledge and experience. You can't try to be a CEO with no CEO knowledge or experience and everything like that. That doesn't have to be a hindrance, but if you got to pay for some game, you got to go out there and get you some scars and stuff like that. If you want to open up a restaurant, I think it's kind of foolish to go out there and just try to open up a restaurant with no restaurant experience. Go get you a job at Outback for a couple months. Or go on to pay somebody that has managed at Outback or McDonald's and stuff like that. Just truth be told, you look at companies like Outback, McDonald's that are real versed with KPI, nobody forget what damn KPI, key performance indicators. They're real and versed with a lot of them organizations. They put a lot of money into training and stuff like that. Those people that manage those places, they've been real versed in what to look for, what not to look for, and everything, and how to be more efficient and effective. And you laughing at the guy at McDonald's, but he's been educated by an organization that understands exactly. So, if you can get you you manage McDonald's at a discount rate that you normally get them. If you want to sit there and go to one of them places, or even just pay, those places have online class, online school. Harvard Business School, they give out all kind of online management classes all the time for free.
For free. I was just about to say, there's so many classes online that are of course, they last year courses, but what does it matter? You could, if it's free, you don't even know 5-year go courses, so you got to start from the beginning anyway.
And you're doing the most important investment whatsoever. That's investing in yourself. That's the most important thing. And another thing we just talked about, having knowledge and experience. Another thing, be aware of your risk tolerance. Know what you're cool with losing or not. If you feel like, okay, I do not want to lose a penny, you should not get at level 3. You should stay right there at level 1. If you know that, if you feel like, okay, not necessarily that I don't care, I can bet the whole table, I'm playing poker. No, but you're a smart person, you know how to take risks, you know how to calculate, you know how to plan, you know how to strategize. Level 3 may be for you. But again, you got to be aware of all that stuff. And then second being, what capacity, how much money you got. How much, what are your liabilities? Do you have a family? Do you got kids that are going to keep you away from doing that kind of stuff? You got to understand that. So again, the experience, the knowledge, the risk tolerance, and the capacity, those are 3 key determining factors on what level you want to be in. That outside of, kind of you with doing it. And I just want everybody kind of, do some kind of self-assessment to kind of see where you fall into each one of those to figure out and everything. So I hope that everything helped you out tonight, guys. Regardless of our show, we talk about the 3 levels of entrepreneurship. Again, just rehash it. Please join the email list. The email list, I want you guys to make sure you hit it. The link is on the YouTube and everything with the videos. Go in the description. You'll see that, but make sure you join the email list. Follow us on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram at Deonte_77. Also follow us on YouTube at Mr. Short Dollar and everything. Got a lot more great information coming down the pipe, so I want you guys to stay abreast with it. With wrapping that up, I do want to give a tip for you guys, right? And this is something I've been thinking about for the past couple weeks because a lot of people have been talking in regards to different things that they've done and stuff. And I just want to shed some light on people like, okay, what to invest in, and people giving. I've never been a big proponent in giving holistic advice as far as investments because everybody's on the way up, man, buy this stock or buy that stock and do this and get that. This is the way to get money and all that kind of stuff. And people are trying to figure out how to invest and become a millionaire or become financially independent. I mean, and got, NSFs all in their damn bank account. And I'm talking about if you got all these damn NSFs, there you going to invest in. Paying out bank charges, and shit. I mean, that's about it. So what I do want to advise people, especially if you're financially challenged, you don't have any money, anything like that, the number one investment you can invest in is yourself. YOU. It's not fun. It's not exciting. It's not really going to be on the way up. But really, really embrace that you don't know anything, you have limited funds, and spend time educating yourself on what you can and can't do under your current situations. Stop being so stuck on, I'm tired of being broke. Fix why you're not broke. There's nothing somebody else can tell you. They can tell you how they got rich, and they're going to say, you can do it too. Right. You could too. If you stay in that dream all night. But you got to wake up. Right. So I really want to challenge everybody, spend a conscious amount of time just investing in yourself. Because when you invest in yourself, that's when you get the knowledge to know, okay, well, shit, that's probably the best for my situation. Or that right there is probably not good for me. It sounds good, but I really can't do that right now. And that's the kind of thing, because you got a lot of people, especially when they hit, I want to say 45, but definitely 50, people looking at their 401k and they saying, damn, I want to have this, that, and that. And yeah, be realistic, like, I don't give a damn if you doubling up, they matching or whatever, you still ain't going to have a certain amount of money in there. Right. Focus on what you need in retirement. Do you need $1 million in retirement? I mean, you want to have $1 million, and this is going to be one of my courses coming out. You can leave a legacy and all that kind of stuff. I mean, get some insurance. You'll be dead. You can't do anything about it. I think it's cheaper to get $1 million life insurance policy than be sitting there struggling every month trying to stash his money to the side and all that other stuff. Shit, live your life. Right. You be so focused on, I want to leave a legacy for my kids. Man, they going to blow that damn money up. Teach your kids and make sure they become educated and get you a nice little insurance policy. But you trying to break your neck to put all this money to the side and all this other kind of stuff, and you missing out on life, it ain't going to work. You just don't have enough time at 50. We talk about compound interest, the key component, or interest rate and time. You ain't finna save no $1 million up. If you got capacity to stack up $1 million in 10 years, I think you can put that money in other places they probably can make more money than you just putting it in somewhere and get like an 8% return.
Right.
That's not going to happen. So I just challenge people that if you know you're financially limited, if you know your knowledge and experience limited, start investing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Start investing in yourself. That's the most important and most beneficial investment you guys can have. Hey, listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show where we talked about the 3 levels of entrepreneurship. I am, again, Deonte Burden, a.k.a. Mr. Short Dollar himself. I'm going to tell you guys again, please make sure you like the videos, like the video we did so we can get those algorithms and everything going up. Subscribe to the channel, share the video, share the information. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook under Mr. Short Dollar, YouTube Mr. Short Dollar, or you can follow me on IG at Deonte_77. I appreciate you guys tuning in this week. Love you guys, and I see you'll be back on Changing Lives next week. Take care, love you guys, and see you again.